like when I was younger, I used to drink to lower my inhibition so I could talk to people. But I have no problem talking to people. Like when we go out, I don't need to drink to like bullshit.
You're
and
an
joke around and
alcoholic,
stuff.
John. We get it. It's fine.
No.
If I think
I'm still waiting for my apology. I don't know what step he's on, but I haven't heard it.
fucking not apology step. The
every
true
time-
proof of someone that's an alcoholic is somebody that has to be like, I'm not going to drink anymore.
But I didn't say that. I didn't say I wasn't going to drink anymore.
You fucking
No, I just said I
started
wasn't going to
going
drink.
all the benefits of.
But well, I don't know. So I'm not saying I'm done for. I just, I don't know. But I will. Like for me, it's like every time I get drunk, I put stuff in my butt, and I just like I gotta.
Yeah.
You can.
That is a problem for you.
My deductible's maxed out.
Yeah.
I can't go to the emergency room anymore.
Oh, your ass isn't maxed out. Your deductible's maxed out. Okay.
That thing has
We
a lot
haven't
of
found that
elasticity.
limit yet.
Okay.
So he's being reasonable with what he's putting up with.
Okay.
History Defeats Itself is a comedy podcast. Kevin, John, and Greg are not experts, historians, or even all that smart.
You know what? I fucking miss weed and cookies. That's what the fuck I miss.
Yeah. Especially weed and cookies.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You're not eating cookies either?
No.
Oh, no
I get-
sugar.
Do you not like so? Yeah, like so.
I thought you meant the alcohol, like sugar alcohols.
both. Yeah. So.
That's fucking terrible. I think it's worse to not have sugar than alcohol. But
you should.
I think you're right. You're 100% right.
You should see
Sugar's
my
really bad for
abs.
you. Can I see them?
They're fucking toit.
My abs are really good too, and I drink a lot. I mean, I have to suck in. But...
Let's have an ab off.
Dude, my abs are fucking fantastic.
They are.
I had to go shirtless to a Halloween costume party, or a Halloween party. So
That's extremely vain. Of everything that you have said tonight, including the pre-show, which lasted 45 minutes, that's the most appalling thing I've heard.
that I worked on my body because I was gonna be shirtless.
No, that you go shirtless for like nobody wants to see that. Even if you're fucking in great shape, no one wants to see you shirtless.
Was that wrong?
If your chest is anywhere near as white as your face,
No, I got spray tanned.
oh, perfect. Then I would.
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that.
No. I don't want to do that to
Okay, good.
people.
Thank
I
you.
would never do that to
Did you-
people.
That's
Did
all I
you
was
spray
concerned
tan your whole body except your face?
No, it's funny that, well, first of all, my lighting's jacked up here, but no, my face, I think it's maybe, I don't know, maybe the face wash you use or something like that, but the tan went away from my face first. That was the first thing to go.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that was kind of interesting. Yeah. Cause like the rest, like I'm actually still have a little bit of a bronze. I like it. So
When
yeah, I
was
wish
the
there was a
party?
way I could stay tan without giving myself cancer or having to get sprayed with a disgusting smelling solvent or whatever. Or not solvent.
I don't know. The cancer might be worth it if you look good.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Yeah.
I go to the dermatologist.
They'll catch it.
They'll catch it in time. Whatever. All right, let's get going here. We've been talking forever.
Greg, you kick off because I don't think you started one.
Yeah, have you?
Why don't you guys go fuck yourselves? I'm ready to go though.
All right.
Why
Go
not?
for it, man.
All right, guys. Hey, we're gonna go not old school history defeats itself. We're gonna go mid school history defeats itself. So what is it when I feel like
Mid-school.
Like
we've
seventh
got-
grade?
we've got like three.
Those were tough years.
We've had three eras of our podcast. We've had the first one where I used to print out 50 sheets of paper, and
And it was like a dissertation.
it was a dissertation. And then we kind of just went. Then mid school, we kind of started talking about people, individuals.
right.
Where we'd see, hey, did that person really fuck everything up, and were they a maverick? Did they change things? And now new
Were they
school,
a disruptor?
were they just? I like
Good,
that one.
Good job.
Nice,
Yeah,
John.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Keyword. And now we kind of just don't do any research at all, and whatever kind of
Well, we don't. I wouldn't say we.
I
you
don't.
don't.
I don't do research at all. But this time I'm going to go mid school. I'm going to talk
Okay.
about a guy.
Okay.
And how he kind of defeated itself. So in the context of me telling you about Robert Philip Hanssen
Of the group Hansen?
of the group Hanssen, I will also, he is representative or indicative of a larger group of people. So we're going to start with Bobby. And then I would like to get your opinion about people of his ilk.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Robert,
is he really from the band Hanson?
No, he is not.
Okay. I didn't know.
I'm not judging your question. I'm just answering it.
All right, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Bop.
Bop, bop.
All right,
bop.
Bobby Phillip Hanssen. He was born in 1944. He only passed about a year ago, and so he made it to 79 years old. What's unique about him is he held a position at the Federal Bureau of Investigations,
It's known
and
as the FBI.
Ooh.
what's the other one for that? Like Free Boobies International. What do we
Free,
call
yeah,
it?
free boob,
FBI?
inspector. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, free boob inspector.
Well,
Was it
so
federal,
stupid.
or is it Federal Boob Inspector?
Oh, it's federal.
No, it is. It's federal
federal.
boob
You
inspector.
You got to be a
yes,
Fed.
yes.
You got to be like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
King.
yeah,
Because it is a
But
federal agency.
You pull up your fucking.
I mean, yeah, like I think it's implied that it's not. You're not going to charge,
Yeah.
right? You don't have to say free.
It's true.
It's everybody that does that service it's on the honor system, and it's free. Everybody knows it's free.
No one has to worry about coughing.
It's
up
actually
anything.
what a lot of people don't know is it's a federal program to check for check for breast cancer.
Yeah,
So it's
It's
actually
a
very
pre-diagnosis. Okay, so he worked for the FBI, but what this little son of a bitch did, he started in 1979, and he rose through the ranks. This guy, and he had classifications and clearances and shit like that. And what did he do? What did he do with that? He was entrusted. The guy was a big fucking wheel there.
How can I guess?
I mean, I kind of feel like I'm telegraphing a little bit. But
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
I won't
okay,
be
didn't-
shocked if you tell me, but go for it.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I want to hear your guess.
Was he a spy?
Well, he worked for the FBI.
No, but was he spying on us?
He sold secrets to the Soviet Union.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's
So he was a double motherfucking agent.
dun dun
This
dun.
cock fucker. Man, this
Secret
guy.
Hansen man. Secret Hansen man.
Bop.
So he joined the agency in 1976. That's the same year as when the Olympics took place in Montreal. And
Okay.
That was
Okay.
also the United States bicentennial.
oh, it was. That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Yep.
And he waited.
It was 2 years before I was born.
Oh fuck, that's weird.
And 29 years after you were born, Greg.
You know what they say about time? There's no real start or stop to it. So
No, that's true.
you're kind of putting me in a box. So he joined in 1976, and it took him 3 whole years of operating his job with integrity before he fucking decided, hey, you know what? I bet you I know a way to make money. I got a little side hustle. He approached the Soviet Main Intelligence Directorate, the GRU,
Oh yeah, the GRU.
to offer his services, beginning his first espionage cycle lasting until 1981. That was his first cycle that lasted until 1981, by the way, because he restarted his espionage activities in 85 and continued until 1991. And the reason why that ended was because of the collapse of the Soviet Union. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that fucking wall, whatever they called it, the Berlin Wall, came down. And the Soviet Union, much to Vladimir Putin's chagrin.
Thanks to Ronald Reagan and David Hasselhoff.
Absolutely. David Hasselhoff, because he was on tour in Germany. And
Didn't he sing? Didn't he sing on the wall?
I'm sure he did.
I think he did. I think he was like singing as they were tearing it down.
Didn't
He
Pink
was
Floyd
the
also?
songbird of his generation. So actually and then he started spying again. This motherfucker,
after 91
yeah,
for the Russians again?
no, for just the Russians. I don't know if you know this or not, but the Russians are still very much interested in American secrets and fucking intelligence.
Did
And
you
it's
hear that
valuable.
they've got some North Korean troops joining their force now?
I did hear about some crazy
Yeah.
shit that's happening these days,
Yeah.
and we're just kind of marching towards World War III. Everybody,
Yes, we are.
get in
I mean,
line.
you know the thing. What makes a world war so great is everybody gets involved. So
everybody's coming.
all your
Come on
friends
over,
come.
Belgium.
Yeah.
So this guy, he sold about 6,000 classified documents to the KGB. that detailed U.S. strategies in the event of a nuclear war, developments of military weapon technologies, and our counterintelligence program. So if you think about it, these are like kind of the most important. This is everything that was happening in the 80s. You remember fucking Ronald Reagan and the nuclear arms race and all of our justifications for spending. Like, I don't think our budget was ever higher for defense than it was in the 80s when we were just, I mean, I think we developed over, John, how many, like 2,000 fucking nuclear warheads, and how many of those motherfuckers are even missing? It may be even more than 2,000. Maybe it's 2,000 that are missing.
Why didn't you ask me? Why'd you ask John?
Because John's our military buff. Everyone knows that.
That's true. Well, and I did serve some soft serve yogurt one time.
At the Dairy Queen.
One time. And then they told me, so you're not supposed to be behind the counter. And then I left. And that's the story.
If we have a bronzer question, we go to Kevin. Anything else? Goes to John.
You don't want to go too coppery.
No. It's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
So if you think about like you guys remember what it was like in the 80s? Maybe. I don't know.
Neon,
I do,
yeah, neon colors.
Lots of Miami Vice.
Perms.
Big hair.
Roller
neon
skates.
colors, roller skates, high socks.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Lots of cocaine.
Lots of cocaine.
Cassette tapes.
And
Walkmans.
I still think it's rather shocking.
Ghostbusters.
That's a good point. Eddie Murphy was on a high.
He was doing great at that
That was
time.
his time.
Yeah.
If you think about it, though, like it was,
Little Debbie hadn't been disgraced yet.
Jesus Christ.
Because of the sex scandal.
Did that happen
Yes.
with Little Debbie? You mean the one that produces all the cookies and shit?
Wait, what now? Say that again?
Are you talking about Little? Did you say Little Debbie?
I did say Little Debbie.
I don't know. I thought, was he being serious?
Yeah.
Isn't
I don't think it
Little
was.
Debbie just a mascot or a
Yeah.
logo? Like,
Yeah,
can a
so.
can a
We could say that about Michael Jackson.
John?
Michael
Just
Jackson
he is
now.
going to town on his nose right now.
Really
Good Lord, get the fucking boogers out and let's go.
People think it's okay to pick their nose if they have a thin layer of tissue.
But
You're still picking your fucking nose,
I'm
dude.
getting. How is it? I mean, would you rather I go with my fingers?
I would rather you not do that at all,
Well, tough shit.
or at least make an OnlyFans.
I don't think people. Maybe I should.
I'm glad we don't post this on YouTube anymore. Do
No,
we?
we don't do video anymore, so he's in the clear. But
Middle-aged
Walk
man
most
does.
totally called him out. So
God, he
And
doesn't even
I
have
feel
the
better.
decency to turn red.
What?
You think you'd get embarrassed and you would
No. Why would I be embarrassed? Everybody has snot.
turn... Okay,
I was doing it. I was doing it in the nice, gentlemanly way.
that wasn't very gentlemanly, and I don't know if you know this or not, but the way your camera is set, it's like your
Oh, that's
nose
right.
is the biggest.
yeah,
thing
yeah,
in
we're
your face.
looking up the nose.
We're
So
like-
like, if you want to know what's going on up there, just ask Greg or I.
If we
Yeah,
were
we
better,
know.
if we were better friends, we'd give you directions for the budget. But then again, I don't know what your right is and what my left is.
Yes.
Yeah, it gets very confusing. I agree. We got to be careful with that.
Okay, guys. So this motherfucker, he had no fucking integrity because why would you do that to with the Soviet Union for what? A little bit of money.
Was it strictly money, or was he like sympathetic to the cause or anything like that?
It's zero sympathy towards the cause. He just wanted a little bit of cash, and it wasn't a ton. So for the first fucking his first little stint, he only made like 20 grand, like the first 4 or 5 years. And
That's yeah.
what the fuck are you doing now? The second stint he did, he made over $500,000.
That's better, but you're still like I kind of want to be set for life,
You
you know,
want-
if I'm going to be doing this shit.
You want millions, right?
Yeah, millions.
You
It's
want
got to be.
millions.
Yep. Out of zero.
Yeah. So anyway, the FBI paid. Okay, hold on. I'm going to back up a little bit. So one of the things that Hanssen did is he revealed a multi-million-dollar eavesdropping tunnel built by the FBI under the Soviet embassy.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was fucked up because he didn't have to tell.
Well, it's kind of
all
fucked
of
up that we did that, though. No.
Not at all. They're fucking Soviets.
I will say you were very angry at this man. So you very much do not like communism, or you are trying to prove citizenship through this episode.
Can it be neither?
Yes.
He just
So,
doesn't like. He really hates the band Hanson, and so
and this is the father of Hanson.
yeah.
Okay, so after
Bop was actually about communism.
It's a little known fact.
it is actually, if you have to go really deep into the dark web for the lyrics.
No, you play it backwards.
Yeah.
It'll tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah. So the FBI paid $7 million to a KGB agent to obtain a file on an anonymous mole whom the FBI later identified as Hanssen through fingerprints and voice analysis. So the FBI bribed the KGB or gave them money to find out who the fuck their spy was.
What?
And they did it.
This is why you don't do business with the KGB.
This is another reason not to like the fucking
This alone.
Yeah, you just can't trust them. You know.
No.
So
So
there's no
Hansen got
integrity
a-
in lying anymore.
No, it's bad. So
No integrity in espionage.
So he got arrested in 2001 at Foxstone Park, which is close to where he lived, and he left there was a package left at a dead drop site. So basically what they would do is they went super fucking old school, where he would leave hard copies, printouts of shit in a spot, and he would watch from behind a fucking tree across the street, and there'd be the switch for money for the files, and he got diamonds, he got Rolexes, he got a little bit of money. He ended up pleading guilty to 14 counts of espionage and conspiracy to commit espionage. And because of that, he was able to avoid the death penalty because, as you guys know, treason is punishable by what?
Death.
That's right.
Go to episode 1.
Hanging.
Yourself.
Episode 2.
Go to episode 2.
Yeah.
It was.
Also go to episode 1 and tell us what that one's about.
Yeah. Start at the beginning. I mean, you got to know how this all unfolds.
It's an arc. You'll really appreciate it. Taxes
It's a
is
story.
riveting.
It is kind of an arc. But so he ended up being sentenced to 15 life terms without the possibility of parole.
Mm-hmm.
And there he remained until 2023 when he kicked it. So now they got to revive his body
Here's something that I want to
14 more times.
about when they give people life sentences, right? When they do those multiple life sentences. So what happens if he gets bit by a vampire and is made immortal?
I think there's usually a clause in the verdict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
No, that's
vampire.
crazy. That's crazy, man. It is funny, like to think that someone would do all that just for money. 'Cause that's why I asked if he was a sympathizer, just because like then at least I get it.
Yeah,
Like,
he's got a
I'm not saying it's
passion.
right, but
yeah.
it's like, okay, he's got some sort of allegiance to them, or he's fell under their spell, whatever you want to say. Like but it was just some cash, and not that much cash.
It wasn't that much. It wasn't enough.
And how Russian is it to give away a Rolex? I mean, seriously.
And there's no way it was real.
No,
Yeah.
it was Rolex.
It was relax.
Relax.
Don't do it. So yeah, this fucking guy, according to Wikipedia, I guess, that might be a source.
Is that what they say? They say this fucking guy at
This
Wikipedia.
fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
He lived actually kind of a highfalutin lifestyle. He had 3 boys. They all went to a really expensive prep school, and they played tennis. His wife was pretty religious. She was pretty devout Catholic. He became a devout Catholic. He went to church on a daily basis. And
Yeah, well, I mean, if Catholicism teaches you anything, all you got to do is just go confess.
that's exactly what he did. He confessed.
And fuck that priest.
Well, the
Go
priest
tell the authorities.
priest was very busy doing his own things that he needed to confess
He was
for.
committing his own crimes.
He was committing his own
with
crime.
Hanson's sons, probably. So,
Hanson always led with, "Hey, by the way, I know what you're doing to those altar boys, so I got something to tell you."
Oh my god! So, did you guys read? There was some I forget. It may have been in San Diego. It was the largest single settlement ever from the Catholic Church for a sexual assault victim. It was like $800 and something million.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
wow.
that's a lot of fucking
like
money.
they deserve. Like they should have to sell off every fucking church they have.
They should have to.
And
They
pay
call
up.
it in college football. If you do something bad enough, your program gets what they call the death penalty, where you cannot have a football team anymore. They should not have a religion anymore.
I think
They
you're
should get the death penalty for what they've done.
Yeah,
Since
they
they
should
kinda
cancel
made it up,
Catholicism. Yeah.
might as well fucking do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so Hansen was going to church. He took a fucking he went to a priest and he fucking begged for forgiveness, told him what his sins was. Priest probably said do 15 Hail Marys and get across the end zone. and
And don't tell anybody about me diddling those kids.
yeah, and apparently like there's no integrity because that was as far as it went. And the only reason why he went to the priest is because his wife fucking caught him in the act of preparing for his espionage. And he's like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm espionaging with the fucking Russians. And
I think
she's
it's
like, "No."
Espinos. I'm
Yeah,
Espinosing.
Espinos, right.
So she caught him doing it, and then she was like, "Well, keep doing it, but go to church."
Yeah, go to church. No, she wanted him to stop, and that lasted a couple of years, and then he started up again. So, fuck this guy.
He was addicted to the rush, maybe.
He
The
probably
thrill of it.
did, but if you saw a picture of the guy, you'd be like, that hair has never been in a rush in its life. Like this guy, he looked like a total fucking just a nerdy square FBI guy.
Who figured out that he could make some money?
Make
He
it
probably
look.
got. Do you know? Did he get approached? Is that how it started?
No, he's the one that sought out the Russians
What?
with this information. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so something else that was very interesting about him. So at Hanssen's suggestion and without his wife's knowledge, a friend named Jack Horshaw, a retired army officer, would sometimes watch the Hanssens having sex through a bedroom window. Hanssen then began to videotape a sexual encounter secretly and share the videotapes with Horshaw. I'll never be able to say this name right. Anyway, later he hit
Is
a
it
video camera in the bedroom. That's right. Connected via closed circuit television. So it's the 80s. So that Horshaw, because apparently he liked getting Horshaw off, could observe the Hanssens from the Hanssens' guest bedroom. He also explicitly described the sexual details of his marriage in internet chat rooms. Remember internet chat rooms?
Yes.
Jesus. Giving information sufficient for those who knew them to recognize the couple. Hanssen frequently visited DC strip clubs and spent a great deal of time with a Washington stripper named Priscilla Sue Gailey. She went with Hanssen on visits to Hong Kong and the FBI training facility in Quantico, Virginia.
Gitmo.
Guantanamo
Bay, Virginia. Hanssen gave her money, jewels, and a used Mercedes because he's not paying fucking retail. But
no.
ended.
Everybody knows you drive that thing off the lot, it loses all of its value.
Yeah. So he got arrested. Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. He ended contact with her before his arrest when she began abusing drugs and engaging in prostitution. That's when she started. Well, whatever. Gailey claims that although she offered to have sex with him, Hanssen declined, saying he was trying to convert her to Catholicism. This guy.
Oh, haven't we all tried that one?
Yeah. So he died in 2023 of colon cancer. He passed out and nobody really cared all that much.
Nobody missed him.
There have been some movies and some shit made about his life story. There was a movie in 2007 called Breach. It starred Chris Cooper playing the role of Hanssen and Ryan Felipe. Why not put him in there? He's kind of a big deal. And so is the end of his little story. But I think it's more fascinating it's fascinating as well to talk about what could potentially attract somebody to a life of treason. And as you mentioned, you've already expressed your curiosity, Kevin, by saying, was he a sympathizer to their cause? No. Was it a ton of money? No. I think
It had to be the thrill.
I think it was just ego driven and
Yeah.
probably, the rush.
The rush of it and getting away with it, Yeah.
But you also tend to think that these guys that have this super high security clearance from a federal agency like the FBI, the free booby inspectors, federal booby inspectors,
Federal. Jesus.
federal booby inspectors, you would think that they would do a good job kind of doing a background check and
Look,
vetting
Greg,
them.
we don't want people to think the service is free. Okay, like we've got to make money at this, or it's never going to work. You know what happened with the hand job hut?
out of business in a month.
Well, yeah, carpal tunnel. It's real.
we never charged anyone. What were we thinking?
Well,
Should made sure to put only one per customer on the free hand job cards we sent out.
Yeah.
yeah, or at least once a day.
Well, it should be one
kept
free
on-
hand job after 13 paid hand jobs. That's what we should have done. So.
Yeah, we gave those cards and we just and John got the penis stamp.
Well, Greg, what do you think? Like, why would someone go to that level? I mean, because it's not just you're not just like doing like there's a lot of ways to get rushes. Like that's a pretty
I'm surprised.
treason's you just jump out of a fucking plane. Like just like go do something. Go skydiving. Go like bungee jumping. What but he obviously. What do you think? Why was he so drawn to it?
I am surprised that someone that made it their life's work to be an FBI agent at a high ranking would actually sell out his integrity for just such little, and it actually compromised the security of our country, and it resulted, which I didn't get to, but it did result in the death of 2 Russian spies because he ratted them out to Russia when he was giving them all their classified information.
Oh, wow.
The United States discovered a couple of spies that were working. They were Russian spies, but they were double agents as well, and they were executed. So some of his secrets did result in death of people. And, it could have really gone sideways. We could have had some serious issues in the 80s because that's when Russia was the biggest enemy, or the Soviet Union was anyway. And it could have been really, really dangerous.
Well, luckily he didn't, and the 80s were perfect.
They were perfect.
Well, all except for that town where people couldn't dance.
That was a bitch.
Yeah.
Fucking
But you know what
John
happened? The kids,
we did an
kids
episode
won
on it.
out. The kids won out. John Lithgow, go fuck yourself.
This, somebody just sent me a video of like the scene where it was your sister-in-law, Kevin. She sent me a video of when do you remember the movie? Like, he goes into the warehouse and he's angry, and so he
angry dances.
He angry. Oh my! Like movies were terrible in the 80s.
It was so stupid. I don't even remember much of the movie. I remember that part.
Yeah.
Even like as a kid, I'm like, what is he doing?
And he was like smoking, and he was like angry at the air, and
yeah, it was just like these really just
if you ever,
aggressive movements.
And it's just like watching Roadhouse again too. You're like,
oh yeah,
were those guys? Was Patrick Swayze really that tough? Sam Elliott, sure.
Pain don't hurt, Greg.
That's a good point.
It does not.
Yeah, that was a little. That was
Unless
a
it's in
little
your
silly
lower
in the
back.
80s.
Then it's terrible.
Then you can't
That's
get out of that.
debilitating. Hey, I got to go to the bathroom because we've been talking for a long time. So talk amongst yourselves.
All
Can I
right.
watch?
I mean, if he pees in the corner there.
Thank
Wait, didn't
God
he
he's
have a
not.
couch or something.
Thank God he's not wearing shorts. This guy.
I could see his
It'd
butt.
be funny if he just moved. If he just moved that soundproof barrier thing. He just peed, right? Like he just peeled it off the wall and just peed. That'd be really funny.
I don't think we can't talk about him because they're speakers. We're coming through speakers. Everybody in the house can hear us. Hello.
I don't think he's too concerned about that with what we were talking about before the show started.
That's true. That's true.
So what do you want to talk about, John?
I don't know, man. I'm really. I don't know. What do we? Oh, hey, did you know that? Is that the end of your topic?
Yeah, but for all we know, this could end up in the show.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Because he doesn't edit shit anymore. So
No, he doesn't.
If you don't, if you're gonna say something that you don't want to be in the show, you probably shouldn't say it. I think the guy has a bit of a
God complex.
Nope.
No.
Nope. I was gonna say something wrong with his prostate because it's taking a while.
Probably.
But sure, a God complex.
Oh, a God complex with a small bladder. So
That's right.
because he's drinking beer. Is it though? I haven't seen him drink. I don't see I know you're drinking. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking some Glencullen Scotch whiskey.
Oh, I do not like Scotch.
No, it's terrible. But I mixed
Yeah.
it with a caffeine-free Diet Coke.
So two shitty things make an okay thing.
I was able to drink it.
Oh,
How
yeah.
dare you, sir?
I hate the peatiness. Why are you drinking Diet Coke?
Mm.
And why do you have Scotch?
Man, you know what? I would answer those questions, but they sound so fucking judgy
They
that
are
I don't
judgy.
want to.
I'm judging you. Yes.
There's no way to answer
Were you
that.
guys not talking about the topic?
Were we
It's
supposed
over.
to be? Are we not going to edit this out?
I try not to.
Yeah, you don't need to edit.
No.
It's fine.
That's fine. Leave it in. No
Did you
one's
say
gonna-
anything I should be aware of?
Nope.
Nah.
Not at
No.
all.
Nope. Couple of
Oh, that got quiet.
just a couple of racially charged words, but other
we're
than
just
that,
we're
it's
just
fine.
thinking
Yeah.
thinking back.
All right. Can I go next?
Sure. Mine's
'Cause I'm
gonna be really
tired and
short.
I'm-
Mine's gonna be super short.
Mine's pretty. I don't think mine will be real long either.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna turn the history defeats itself camera on Hollywood.
Oh.
Right.
I didn't know we had a camera.
The year was 1937.
She
Talkies were becoming a thing. So, did you guys ever see the 1998 film Psycho with Vince Vaughn, the remake?
I did. Had to.
I probably did, but I don't remember anything about it.
Did you see the remake of The Crow that came out recently?
The what?
Nope.
The Crow.
I did not.
I did not because no, I'm not going to do that to Brandon Lee. He died for that
Yeah.
film.
My topic tonight is why the fuck is Hollywood so obsessed with remaking movies?
Well,
What?
it's a business and they think they're going to make money that way. Okay, next topic, John.
But you say that,
I'm
but
not
they
saying-
don't.
I'm not saying it's successful.
But that's my point. That's the idea. Why do they keep trying? I mean, I'm serious. Like the numbers. You look at the data. They're critically panned. They're bomb at the box office. Like I'm my like why is and I like for example Psycho, largely one of the most suspenseful movies. Like people like maybe not anymore. Like our younger listeners might not know it, but that was a big deal. Even when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I remember people talking about that movie.
So are they banking on the fact that they're banking on probably one of two things? Either people have nostalgia for movies and they want to see a new version of it and they don't mind that they already fucking know how it's going to end, or they're banking on brand new people that never saw the original to be surprised by the ending.
And be more drawn to it because it's more modernized, maybe.
And maybe Vince Vaughn's a catch and he pulls people in.
Yeah.
I think that they do their best to decide what can make money, and it's a business and it might not be successful, but that's why they do it. It fucking doesn't make sense. And the Psycho with Vince Vaughn, no offense to Vince Vaughn, was terrible.
No, it was not good. Well, what's interesting about it?
But in fairness, Psycho 2 and 3 or whatever weren't good either.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I forgot they made multiple ones, but so the 1998 Psycho was Gus Van Sant, who you might know from Good Will Hunting, My Own Private Idaho. What was that? To Die For. That was a really good movie. He did a lot of stuff. That movie cost $60 million to make, and it grossed $37 million.
So not great. And it's because Vince Vaughn.
$37 million, even in '98, that's pathetic.
And it's because Vince Vaughn wanted $50 million for that movie. It's not good.
But I don't know, man. So 33% of movie remakes. We're gonna go by Rotten Tomatoes. Do you guys use Rotten Tomatoes when you're gonna watch movies?
Sometimes.
I like
Yes.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
33% of movie remakes receive a fresh rating. We receive above, like whatever that is, above 60 or whatever it is, or whatever that not tomato splat is. 33%. 10% of all remakes have critically outperformed the originals, and 63% of remakes have okay, I didn't finish that sentence in my notes.
63% of these movies didn't finish at all.
60
They just didn't make them. I mean,
3% of Kevin's stats are made up.
I think it's so in when I saw the Crow remake was coming out, I was like, because the Crow was right in my wheelhouse. I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah, me too.
Really loved the soundtrack. Like it was right in my wheelhouse. And so I was like appalled that they were remaking it, but I was like, whatever, who cares? Like, I'm not going to see it. But I was kind of happy that it was horrible. It got a 23%. It had a $50 million budget, which just seems really low to me.
I didn't even know they made it.
They made it, and it was a 20. They made it so far. It's made $24 million. It came out in like August, in the end of the summer. And I don't know. Like, one of the things I want to say about Psycho that was kind of interesting. It's kind of different. It was nearly a shot-for-shot remake of the original.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and even more so, like, why? Like the critics were saying it was unnecessary and it didn't have the suspense of the original and all this. I mean, I guess I keep going back to why I mean, there's tons of people writing scripts in Hollywood, you know.
And is Gus Van Sant gonna fucking do better than Alfred Hitchcock?
Right? I like Gus Van Sant a lot. I think he's good.
Yeah.
I think he's a good director, but are you really gonna like retell he didn't even retell the story. Just, well, I guess he did. What do they say? It's not a remake, it's a reboot or a retelling, right? Like if people like take something and try to retell it later on.
Yeah, but if you did shot for shot, it's kind of
It's not. Yeah, it's not a retelling.
What's
Yeah.
the point?
Did you guys watch The Thing?
Yes.
And did you see the remake of that? But it wasn't a remake, but I thought it was a remake and I watched it and it's not a remake and it's really fucking good.
Huh.
Did you guys
Oh.
watch it?
No.
Yeah, you should watch it with the guy from Avatar. I forget his name, English guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's like him, but it's like basically it's like, yeah, it's like another part of the same story, and it's really good. So,
Huh.
yeah.
Okay.
Not
And
really.
there
not
have been
really
stuff,
good, but it's interesting. I'll say interesting.
well, there has been stuff like that where you know they've kind of like continued a story, like they, you know, if you think about superhero movies, you know, Batman or any of those kind of movies, and there have been successful remakes. Like I have some here. A Star Is Born from 2018 with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga was a huge hit. That one had been remade several times. It was the fourth remake of the original 1937 movie, and it was by far the most successful. This is a little looser, The Departed, which I love that movie. I think you guys do too, or at least Greg, I think you and I have talked about that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. Is that a remake?
Yeah, what's that?
That's a remake?
Well, I knew this. It was a remake of a Hong Kong movie from 2002 called Infernal Affairs.
Infernal?
Infernal.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
great name, right?
Yeah.
I love that name. That's great. Ocean's 11 was a very successful remake. True Grit was a very successful remake. Dune would be a more recent one, and West Side Story. Those were very successful remakes. But like I was looking up some of this stuff, like Ben-Hur was remade. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Why would you like that? Was like this like crazy story of how this movie with tigers and like all this shit, like they figured out how to make this, and you're gonna remake it in 2016 with CGI? Like what?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
It-
Total Recall, that was another one I remember.
That wasn't good. Yeah, the remake.
I never saw it. Point Break, which was a really weird one. I remember when they remade Point Break, that made zero sense to me because it wasn't like a great movie by any means.
Right.
You know, like kind of Total Recall wasn't either, but it's like it was inventive and it was fun and it was perfect for the time.
It was Arnold, and Arnold is great in everything because he's always
Right.
Arnold blowing up stuff.
Conan the Barbarian was remade too.
Yeah.
And one of the perhaps the weirdest one, I forgot about this. Did you guys ever see back in the day the movie Flatliners with Kiefer Sutherland and Julia Roberts?
Yep.
They remade that in 2017. It got a 4%
Oh wow.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
so not good.
Not
So
great.
I played hockey with a guy that wrote that movie. The
Oh, really?
original. Yeah, yeah. He made
Wow, it was a really cool concept. I remember
Yeah.
loving that movie when I was a kid.
It was a great
But-
movie.
So what, you know, I could sit here and talk about the movies themselves, but like, and I know you say it's a money thing, but the data shows it's not. Why keep trying?
I think they're optimistic. It's good.
I mean, is it just the idea that like a known quantity has got more chance than an unknown?
Probably right because
It
like if
must
you're
be.
making a movie, like if you're making like let's say it costs you $100 million to make a movie, and it's going to cost you $100 million to make a movie nobody's ever heard of. It's going to cost you $100 million to make a movie somebody has heard of, and then maybe they're kind of what Greg was talking about earlier is like maybe they're hoping that it's nostalgia and it's like, oh, I saw this movie, I saw the original when I was a kid. We should go watch it I'm going to go watch it with my 13-year-old kid. Right. And so then you go watch it. And so now, maybe that's what they're counting on. And it must work. The math must work out long term for them to keep doing it.
Because
Right?
it's a business,
Yeah.
like you've said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It
maybe
does seem like it's a business that doesn't really succeed. But then how many first run movies or whatever are successful?
Yeah, and again, like it's always it's a risk, right? Like you don't know what's going to be successful, in the at the box office. I mean, how many movies have we seen that everyone thought were going to be like some crazy thing and it just never pans out,
Yeah. I mean, man, the last couple, like, they are not doing well in Hollywood right now. Movies are
No.
not like it's almost every movie they put out just crashes.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Well, it's like it seems to be like it has to be some sort of an epic or a really killer animated movie, or you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Like I get why people put movies out on Apple TV and Netflix now.
Yeah.
It just makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Well, and like I have it, but it's like I watch previews now, and and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but I'm just like, that doesn't look good. Like, because like remember like in the 90s, there was like a lot of there was like True Romance and Pulp Fiction, and there was just like a lot of really good movies that had good stories. And now it just seems like the stories are just, they're not that great. Or am I just old and I just know what the story is?
Well,
You're old.
maybe I think the way we're consuming our entertainment has changed so much.
That's a great point.
And I think TV now is probably a little bit more compelling because it's so much easier to consume, and we have the ability to watch it broken into 1 hour chunks, and they can be longer stories. Whereas it really has to be a lot to drag my ass out of my house and go to a fucking movie so I could sit somewhere else instead of sitting in my living room.
Right.
Yeah, and pay and pay $24 for popcorn, and yeah.
It's like $100 to go see a movie, and
it is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So you're right, Greg. I mean, it's really like the only reason that I do it every once in a while is because it's like because I have this like nostalgic past about movies, and that was all we had to do in high school. We just watched. We had a $2 theater not far from our house that played like the second run shit, and we'd just go there and watch whatever.
Yeah,
I saw everything. That's how I saw Psycho.
I did the same thing. I saw I was at the movies at least once a week.
Right, us too. Yeah, man.
Like where's our Fight Club? like, like where's it like a movie that's as good? Because that movie was so fucking good.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
And maybe our attention spans, we just don't want to sit somewhere for a couple hours either. Like if you just look at social media or TikTok, you're watching these short videos.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we want our entertainment now, it seems.
And you go to a movie, and again, I don't want to harp on the prices, but it is really expensive. You're right, John. I mean, for me and Elwood and Sheena to go see a movie, we can spend $80.
They do
a beer there now too, which doesn't help that, but the price. But like, and then you sit through 20 minutes worth of commercials and then another 15 minutes worth of previews, and then you finally get to the movie and you get home and it's like 10:30 at night, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Right? We could have just stayed here.
Why did I put that in my butt?
But why you okay, John? That's the second time you've brought this up tonight.
Oh, it's a cry for help.
Gotta stop putting random stuff in your butt.
It's a cry for help.
I can tell.
I mean, I know that logically, I know that, but emotionally, I'm just like, well, it's triangle.
It's still a hole. I'm gonna fill it
this time, pine cone. All right, that's all I got. John, you're up.
Well, I mean, I feel like my topic bridges the two of yours. So,
is it about espionage movies?
It's a spy movie, yeah.
It is. Yep, it is. No, it's about minimum wage.
Oh, that doesn't really go between those two.
I'm just trying to.
Because if you work at a movie theater,
trying to, yeah.
And then you're probably going to sell secrets to the competing theater.
Hey, Regal, I've got some information for you.
People don't like.
This is Kevin from AMC.
People don't like remakes, man.
People don't like remakes. I heard it on a podcast.
So I've been like really fascinated by this election cycle and just watching everybody, and just how people dig in. And and I see being over and over again, people are like inflation, and it's here, right? So it's definitely like people are feeling it. But I was just like, but also I always find it interesting that those same people don't like if you try to like if you're like, oh, well, vote for people who will raise the minimum wage, and they're like, well, you can't raise the minimum wage because if you raise the minimum wage, it causes inflation. But I'm like, but we have inflation, like, and we haven't raised the minimum wage in a long time. So I was like, that's what it's
more.
Yeah,
did we just recently raise minimum wage?
Not federal.
Oh.
So
right,
federal minimum wage hasn't been raised in like shit, like 13 years or something like
Yeah,
that.
isn't it
14
like
years.
7 something or 8 something?
725. So we'll yeah.
725. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but it's
California.
well, California is like 15, right, or
Yep.
17.
Yeah, Colorado's not far from that. I don't think it's quite that high, but yeah, I think you guys are the highest minimum wage. Yeah.
But like
You
I
would
mean,
think that John might know what it is because
Because he's making it.
it's this topic, but
Oh, because of that.
it's
All right. Yeah,
$16 an hour in California.
it's 16. Yeah. So the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938 is actually
Blah 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 blah.
That's when they came up with the 725.
yeah, 1938. They haven't raised it since.
1938.
But in 1938, it was amazing.
Oh my gosh, people were living large.
I got a Model T in a house. So it was a U.S. law established to protect workers, and by 1940, this law had set standards for minimum wage, overtime pay, and child labor. So Elwood can thank this law for you guys not putting him to work. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
Unless it's a family business.
Yeah, that's true. And then you can put them on the payroll.
Huh.
It aimed to ensure fair pay for a reasonable work week and to eliminate labor conditions detrimental to workers' well-being. So, and I think it did. It worked, right? Like, I mean, we don't get like people don't blow up anymore at work, or if they do, there's like an investigation, and they're like,
People talk.
People do still
Yeah.
blow up at work, John. So we're on the same page.
I mean, but not like they used to, right?
Did you hear about that girl that worked at Walmart in Canada and she fucking got locked into the oven?
Yeah, I read about that today.
Oof.
Yeah.
No, that happened just now or just recently?
Yeah, a couple days ago.
Yeah,
Not good.
Locked in what oven?
Like they had
Like,
some kind of
probably like where they do the rotisserie chicken.
probably.
Was she? I mean, was it murder?
No, well, I don't. It could have been. I heard all kinds of conflicting stories. Like I heard that she. I mean, there's a bunch of safety features on the inside of the oven to get you out of there. But I'm pretty sure there's going to probably be a lawsuit.
Oh yeah, because she's a teenager. That's Walmart's gonna be that'll be settled out of court, according to John Banks law. So-
Visit johnbankslaw.com to schedule a consultation if you're listening right now, Canadian Girls Family.
Hi, this
Man,
is
that's awful.
I just
this
called
is
him
Greg
and
at
go, hey, we can
johnbankslaw.com. How can I help you?
Sometimes I get confused and I say, hand job hut.
You're so
You're
used to
calling
it.
about the law. Sorry, hold on.
Sorry, hang on. Let me put a different shirt on real quick. Just helps me.
Let me-
helps me when
Let me
Be
take
in
out these
character.
latex gloves. So, yeah, no, it was really horrible. Like, oh God, could you imagine?
no,
Like, you're just
no.
like, ugh.
I tried to watch Shogun.
The
Did you
new
guys watch
series?
the show Shogun?
the new series?
Yeah, that series.
I loved it.
I loved it.
I think we talked about this maybe because you didn't dig it, Greg?
No, I did. I just kind of stopped watching it and never picked it back up again.
I had it was weird. It was like I must have been just my mood, but like the violence right out the gate, I was like, good God, when
It was a
they're
lot.
boiling the guy in like the cauldron and they're just like boiling him to death and he's screaming, I was like, I shut it off and I think I put like a, I don't know, cartoon on or something. I was like, this is too much. This is too much.
Put on Guy Fieri. Diners, drive-thrus.
Diners, drive-ins, dives.
You're like, I need something
I
happy.
threw on Summer Baking Championship to just make it a little easier
Yeah.
on myself.
So do you think he like makes himself throw up after every cut because like how's that guy not having a heart attack? Right?
Guy Fieri.
Yeah, because of all the stuff.
Well, didn't they tell the guy the man versus food or whatever? Like a doctor said,
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
dude, you
you're-
can't do this or you're going to die.
Yeah, you're gonna die. He looked like he was gonna die.
He did look like he was going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know we got off topic.
There's
but-
a lot of like unhealthy looking food critics. That's part of their job, man.
Yeah.
You remember Jonathan Gold?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's Kevin, because you don't live out in LA. So there's this guy on NPR called Jonathan Gold. And it was amazing. He would go to these restaurants, but he was just like very overweight guy, and he died of a heart attack like in his like 50s or 60s, I think. So he definitely wasn't old.
He was happy.
He was happy, but man, he was definitely like anytime he'd recommend a restaurant, you'd go there and it'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So
The guy had a great voice too.
yeah, he did, and now it's Evan Kleinman. Just in case anybody wants to know. Any
Yeah. I mean, this is riveting.
NPR heads out there. So the Fair Labor Standard Act
Any
was
NPR fans.
championed by FDR. He pushed for the act as part of his New Deal, aiming to improve labor conditions and provide economic security during the tough times of the Great Depression.
I heard it wasn't that great.
People
was
always
not.
bitch about it.
Yeah. Well, the banks is the banks. So,
Is it like, do you still feel like people are bitching about it?
I don't
Old
know.
people.
It just seems like a little too. They didn't get creative enough with the name.
yeah.
The
Well, it was the
Depression.
great. That was the Great War, the Great Depression. Yeah.
The Great War, the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
I
there.
don't think
So
you
we have
know what the
another
word
depression.
"great" means.
It'll be Depression 1 and Depression 2.
Well, I don't know. Like everything nowadays, we put gate on everything.
Yeah.
Watergate and
Pizzagate.
What's that?
Pizzagate.
Pizzagate.
Yeah.
Yep. Pizzagate.
Colgate. No.
I like
What
that.
did you say?
Colgate.
Colgate.
Colgate. Oh yeah. No. Okay.
So, what do you think that?
I like
What do you think the first minimum wage was? Federal minimum wage.
in 1938?
1938. Yeah.
5 cents.
I'm gonna go with 24 cents.
Oh well, Price is Right rules. Kevin gets it also because he was way fucking close. 25 cents.
Hey!
You get a car, and Greg gets jack shit. So
You know the cars in those shows are not the best.
no, you're getting a used Mercedes. I got it from
Yeah.
I got it from that
so
Hanssen
I'm
guy.
fine with that. I'm fine with that. But like, that's usually like, oh, it's the new Civic. Thank you.
What's
It's the new Toyota Century.
A new
Like,
sporty Civic.
What's a Centaur? Who makes it?
what is it? This car doesn't even have a brand on it.
The
A
Chevrolet.
new car.
The Chevrolet Bible Belt. What?
I've never heard of Fard. What company is Fard? They make
With a J,
cars?
is it with a J? Fajard. It's Norwegian. Powdered Mustang.
So yeah, so it was 25 cents.
25 cents.
25
Okay.
cents.
Someone in your apartment, John?
Something just beeps.
I've been watching a lot of horror movies lately,
Yeah.
and you're kind of like,
He looks very vulnerable right now.
He
I think
does.
maybe because the camera's so low.
yeah.
It definitely looks like he could be murdered at any moment.
Have you been talking to my dad? Because that's what he thinks. He thinks
It's definitely a Blair Witch situation going on.
Yeah,
with
oh
you.
yeah, it is. I should look at snot dripping from my nose.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm so scared.
so the average national home price in 1938
Nothing actually
was-
happens
was
until the very end, and we're not even sure if anything happened then.
but
I love that movie.
they
by the
way.
way.
So much money on that movie.
Of course you did.
Well, yeah, because it costs like $40 to
Yeah,
make.
yeah. And everybody who was in on it, they had it was I kind of read this thing about it where they all split. They all agreed they did it for free. They all everybody, the actors, the crew, everything, they all did it for free, and they all like agreed that they would just split if it made any money. They'd split the profits, and it was like 150 million, or it made a lot of money.
Yeah, it made a lot of money.
So the average in home price in 1930 was $3,900, and the
Same thing with E.T. the extraterrestrial.
Similar story.
E.T. fucking made out like a bandit. He had Reese's Pieces for days.
A lot of people don't know E.T. was played by Dustin Hoffman.
And he actually looked like that at the time. He just had major reconstructive surgery too.
Yeah, he had a piano fall on his head. So he was
an
doing a lot of
accordion.
cartoons back then. A lot of Acme. And the average national rent was $27 a month.
So you said 30? Was it 3,900 for a home?
$3,900 for a house.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I was looking. So there was no 30-year mortgages at that time. Those came around in the 50s. So then to buy a house back then, you needed like half down. So or you needed somebody to like finance it for you, and it usually wasn't a bank. So but if you could have financed it, it would have been around $27 a month. Your mortgage on a 30-year mortgage.
That sounds nice.
But here's so a person making minimum wage or $572 a year only spend about 50% of their monthly income on rent, right? Which sounds like a lot if you're like, oh wow, that's a lot of money. But the average cost to feed oneself in 1938 was about $9 a month, or about 19% of your monthly income. So after rent and groceries, a person would have spent $36 of their 48 monthly income. And they'd have $12 left, and when you think that, or when you're like, oh, so a movie Guess how much a fucking movie cost in 1938?
Oh, a penny.
It's 25 cents.
Oh, it was
Right.
25
So
cents,
so
okay.
you basically
Give me a
a
chance to
movie was
guess,
25 cents, bowling was 13 cents. To go get a burger was like 10 cents. Get a milkshake was 5
you're still
cents.
talking about minimum wage.
Yeah, you're still talking about minimum wage, right? And so basically, making minimum wage in 1938, you could have an apartment, you could have rent, have food, and still go out and do things, right?
Yeah.
And that's living by yourself. If you got a roommate, that'd be even, you'd save even more, right?
You would?
You would. That's how roommates work.
Tell me how this works.
So you get a room mate. He's your mate.
Mind blown.
Yeah, you're welcome. For
Is
more
it like
tips on how
Skipper
to
and the
live.
Gilligan?
Email John at John Banks Law and
/
housing.com.
Sponsored by Handjob Hut.
Please, for the love of God, stop bringing the coupons in. We cannot honor them anymore.
It's not fast food either, so it's going to take a while. Every hand job is made to order.
It's fake. There's no one size fits all hand job.
There's really not.
You don't know what you're going to get.
So the minimum wage has been raised 22 times since 1938, and as of October 2024, the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, which has not been raised since July 24th, 2009.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And again, there's a lot of states have raised their
right, of
minimum
course,
wage,
yeah.
But I think Alabama, I think I think it's $7.25 an hour. I don't think they have a state minimum wage. I think it's the federal minimum wage is what they use.
I thought they wanted the federal government out of their business.
Well, they do. They're saying that they don't want it to raise. So if you take this math, and so this means a person making minimum wage brings home about $15,080 a year. The average price and that's based on a 40-hour work week. But all these numbers are based on 40-hour work weeks. So if you work
That makes
more than
sense, John.
Yeah.
I like
it's
what
just
you're
math,
saying,
guys. I just needed some numbers.
We get it.
I
can't wait till you tell us how fucked you are if you make minimum wage.
Oh, so the average price of a home today is $412,300, and a 30-year mortgage at 7% would cost a person $2,194.43 a month if they could come up with a down payment to buy the thing. Not to mention, there's the cost of property taxes and homeowners insurance. So basically, if you're making $15,080, oh shit, I didn't do that. I didn't put that in there. So if you're making $15,080 a year, well, hold on, I gotta. It's
embarrassing.
That means you're making.
It's better than mine.
You're making.
I was like 63% of remakes have higher financial. That's all it says. I'm looking at it right now.
So you're bringing home $1,256 a month. Right?
Holy shit!
So you can't afford a house. The national average rent is $1,558 a month for a studio. Home prices have gone up 4,000% since 1938, and the minimum wage has only gone up 2,800%. Right. And then
John, I don't know if that's sustainable.
I don't think it is. I don't think we're gonna. Yeah, I don't think it is. And then the average price for a movie is $11.90. Which I gotta say,
fuck, man.
I don't know how the fuck they came up with that average, because I have not gone because when I go to a movie in Alabama, it's still like $15.
Yeah,
right? So
I've not seen $11 in a long time.
So they must be basing that on Wyoming.
I feel like when Sheena and Elwood and I go to a movie, it's like $45 just in tickets alone.
Yeah.
$45-$50 just in tickets alone.
Yeah, and remember, like what is it? Kids, do you even save money on kids?
Oh, it's like $2.
Yeah,
it's nothing, and the kid's not gonna last the whole movie because again, it takes so long to get to the actual movie that by then he's already halfway done. So we've only seen half of movies so far with him,
but paid full price.
We've never seen the whole movie. I still don't know how Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem ends.
I guarantee you, it's pizza.
Who's the rat? What's his name?
Splinter.
He kills everybody.
Oh yeah, he goes on a rampage.
Yeah. It's just like Shogun.
He boils all the turtles in water.
Boiling turtles.
Turtle soup, baby.
Delicious. Italian turtle soup.
So, and so in the average, so right now, the average single person spends $336 a month on food. So that's $4,032 a year, which is 27% of their total annual income.
Oh,
Which
so
I will
many
say,
numbers.
which in 1938 it was about 19% of your income. So that actually hasn't gone up that much, over the last 100 years. I mean, it was again,
That is not a silver lining, though.
no, it's not.
No, it's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
not.
because you fucking have blown all your money on rent, so you don't have money for food, and you have to have healthcare. It's just crazy. And so, uh, so basically, what was like I said, what started me thinking on this was like people complain about inflation, and so I was like looking into like, you know, one, why aren't they raising minimum wage, and it's people think that they have this belief that if you raise the minimum wage that it causes inflation, and
Mhm.
so. Historical data shows that the minimum wage has had little impact on how companies price goods, right? And so basically, especially historically, minimum wage increases were large, one-shot changes imposed with little advance notice for businesses. But many recent state and city level minimum wage increases have been scheduled to be implemented over time and often are indexed to some measure of price inflation. These small scheduled minimum wage hikes seem to have smaller effects on prices than large one-time increases, and in some cases have no impact at all. Right. So when people complain about inflation, it's like that's not it. Because
Mhm.
we haven't raised minimum wage since 2009 federally, and we've had a fuck ton of inflation in the last 3 years. So,
Yep.
you know, um,
Yep.
and then by looking at changes in restaurant food pricing during this period of 1978 to 2015, McDonald and Nielsen find that prices rose by just 0.36% for every 10% increase in the minimum wage, which is only about half the size reported in previous studies. They also observed that small minimum wage increases do not lead to higher prices and may actually reduce prices. So, um, it, history defeats itself because I don't know, capitalism
And movie remakes
and
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 spies.
and Russian spies. So, but and yeah.
We
Anyway,
tied it all
Yeah.
together.
and then the one of the things is like in the housing market. And I was reading, so for in California specifically, there's for every 10,000 people looking for a home, there's only 3,900 homes available. Right. So
Yeah.
that's one of the
Believe me, I know all about that.
Yeah.
Having a wife who's a realtor.
yeah.
A lot of inventory out there because everyone's scared of the interest rates.
But even before these numbers, those were like 2021 numbers or 2022 numbers.
Oh,
There's just,
okay.
There
there's
is a
just
lot
not
of pent-up
enough
demand.
Yeah, there's just not enough houses, right?
Yeah.
And there's and so
I tell you what, I don't know about you guys, but out here, like I cannot believe how many apartments are going up.
yeah.
Like just apartments everywhere. Like there's new construction. I just assume it's probably apartments, and it a lot of times is. It's crazy how much they're building. How many apartment complexes, and it's not. It's like the big, huge, like monstrous complexes and stuff. It's crazy.
Well, and they stay full. Like I know, like the building I live in, it's I think it's like 80 something units, and they're always full. I mean, and there's always people
Mhm.
moving out, but there's always people moving in to replace them. Right? It's like
Mhm.
apartments here do not stay empty very long at all, and they're not. I live in like one of the cheaper ones. Some of these, I mean, there's like 2-3 bedrooms here that go for like 5,000 a month.
Jesus Christ.
And it's like couples move in there, and I'm just like, what do you guys do?
Yeah. What do you guys do for a living?
Because
Yeah.
can you hire me? I'll
Yeah.
I'll be your.
Oh, look at that, Greg. He's already ready to jump
Oh,
ship.
yeah. Well, I'm not.
I
I
don't
don't live in
blame
a
'em.
$5,000 apartment. So
Yeah.
anyway, so
Boop.
minimum wage. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. It's one of those subjects that everything you said was like not surprising. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But we just go along with it. And we're like, yeah, we're just gonna get fucked in the ass and have shitty remake movies.
No wonder Hanssen fucking sold out.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna.
Communism works, man.
That's a great way to tie it all together.
We're gonna
right
get
there.
fucked in the ass, and he's gonna show it to his army buddy.
He sure is. Without our consent.
That's
Son of a bitch.
And for some reason in closed caption TV, even though there's far better technology that
There's
exists now.
way more sophisticated technology.
Well, this was
but
a
for
while
some
ago.
reason- All right. Well, it was great talking to you guys. Thank you, everybody, for listening here on History Defeats Itself. I had fun. I hope you had fun. I hope the two of you had fun.
I did. I had so
Indeed.
much fun.
It's always a
Indeed.
good time.
Indubitably.